So I remember our very, very first service ever. We hadn't even actually started having church yet. We called them preview services. And it was kind of our way of like practicing church together. That very first week, so much anticipation. We'd invited so many people, done all the hard work, and we woke up that Sunday morning and it was flooding. All right, here we are. We have our first service ever today. And having the worst storm on record, I think. I can't remember. And I was so negative, because of what was going on, but 100 people showed up that day. I remember Amber looking over at me and saying, "So what do you think?" And so I was a little bit negative. I was like, the rain, and I thought this was God that was in this, and then it floods, and what's going on? And she just looked at me and, man, that girl's got some grit, She said, "Yesterday, there were 4 people in this church. Today, there's over 100. Why don't you get back out there and get ready to preach again?" She just like lit a fire, under my rear end and fired me back up. So we moved here in June of 2009. We didn't know anybody. We started just meeting people, growing a team. Many people were interested in this idea that we had to start this brand new church. And they said, "Yeah, I'll get in on that." And so we ended up growing the team from June of 2009 until January of 2010 to about 33 adults. That didn't count the kids. And we called those people our launch team. I mean, these were the people that were all about the dream, what God was putting together in this new church that He was birthing. Then on January 24th, 2010, can't believe it's already been 10 years, man, we officially launched weekly worship services. So that's the day our church was birthed. That day we had just over 100 people. And ever since then, the story of Revolution Church has been literally starting a revolution of grace in one life at a time.
The way he communicates the gospel really, really impacts me personally, just how clear it is, how he stresses the importance of inviting people to Revolution Church and just how important that is to him. I just love his heart for just, number one, Jesus, and just for people and bringing people to know the Lord.
I feel that Pastor Zach and Pastor Amber are authentic, they're genuine. They love Jesus, they love their family, and they love this church and the people of San Antonio.
For me, it was walking in to, I don't know how to put this. I was raised in a church, and they've been established for 80 years, right? That church building's been there forever. I walked in and it was pipe and drape. It was something completely different for me. It was something that truthfully felt right. Just like you have here right now, people walked in greeting you. As soon as we walked in that first day, people were holding the doors open up, greeting us, talking to us.
So when we first started the church, we were portable, meaning we did church out of a trailer. We literally were setting up a stage, lights, sound, baby cribs, parking cones, coffee making equipment, pipe and drape chairs, every single thing that it takes to do church had to go in and out of this trailer. And we did that for the first 18 months. We actually met in a cheerleading gym. It wasn't laid out well. It had inadequate bathrooms and very inadequate parking.
One of the ways we figured out that was growing was that, that we worked the administrative team, and we got the cards each week and started filling them out. And they went from, a few to, 50 to 100 to 200. Those cards were what people put on there for their connection. Like, hey, we're first timers. Hey, we gave our life to Christ.
It feels genuine to me, coming here from my first experience, the people were welcoming, and I've never felt the pressure or judged in any kind of way, so.
We felt welcome.
God started to put on our heart, it's time to find a place that can contain what I really want to do, It felt like God was directing us to this warehouse that we're in right now. Whenever we found this facility, it was completely bare. It had to be built out into a church. Stage had to go in, kids' rooms, bathrooms, everything. We didn't have a whole lot of resources to do that. And so it was really cool to see the families of the church come together, not only giving financially, but giving of their time. People were meeting up here every single night after work for about the 6 to 8 months it took to do the build out. This place that we have called home for several years, even though it's not our home, it's our apartment, it's our duplex, it's our rental house. And now we have our eyes set on what's next.
I've seen lives change just being part of the Dream Team, making a difference in somebody's life, just greeting them or, just chatting with them or listening to them.
With me actually volunteering, it kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone and made me, you know, I have to go and mingle. Although I do admin and now a part of Grow Track, but it still kind of forced me to go out and speak to the people. And, you know, it just, like I said, just pushed me kind of out of my comfort zone. And it makes me feel, I guess, just a part of the team.
The mix has definitely changed my life, because being an adult, actually interacting with kids, you actually realize that, wow, they really need a lot of help too. And it actually takes you out of your comfort zone and pushes you to the next level in your life to be able to help bring them up also.
We're in this season called Time to Build, because we have property and shirts, and it is literally time for us to build our very first home.
It's a time for expansion, you know, to move to higher levels.
And within the next few years, you're going to see everything that you contribute into that actually come to life.
To take the spiritual journey further, bigger, reach more people.
We're gonna be, you know, right in the flow of traffic. You know, kind of here we're off the grid a little bit, you know what I mean? So no one really knows we're here, but there, like I said, people are gonna pass by, people are gonna be curious, and they're gonna walk through the doors.
Experience God just in a whole new way, and just our marriage in a whole new way, and being able to see our daughter just grow in her relationship and continue, you know, seeing her grow.
So we just wrapped up our very first decade of ministry as a church, and we're launching into our second decade. And I think the thing that I would want to say most after 10 years and looking forward to the future is thank you. Thank you, Revolution Church, for making a difference every single day in this community and across the world. Thank you, Dream Team, for what you do, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in to this ministry. Thank you for those of you that attend the church week after week faithfully, and you're growing in your faith, and God's doing something. Man, I'm believing big for what He's going to do over the next 10 years in your life. For those of you that support the church financially, thank you. We couldn't do what we do without the resources, and Amber and I, we're in it to win it with you when it comes to giving. Let's continue to pour financially in to what God is doing here through Revolution Church. And to those of you involved in Time to Build, hey, let's just keep it up. Let's keep running the race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to build that home as quickly as we possibly can. And to anyone not involved in Time to Build, we invite you to join us on this incredible journey as we step into what God has next.